All right, so we are back again with scraping the
Back at
plate.
it.
Yep. And what are we making today, Kayla?
Today we are making some lasagna, and today we are also going to be using some store brands to make the lasagna.
Oh, so it'd be really easy. This is stuff you can get out in the store. It's not something you got to forage around for. And later in the summer, when we have the garden up, we'll be pulling some fresh stuff. But again, you can go to the store and get this. And when's the last time you had lasagna?
The last time I actually had lasagna was for Easter, because you can't go wrong with the good Italian dish for Easter, especially
Yeah.
in my family. So
And I think it's a dish that complements everything else.
yeah,
So it fills it in if you don't want like the ham or anything like that. And it's something that you can put in the fridge and make, maybe 10 meals out of.
yeah,
So it's kind of
right.
economical. It's fun and it's good. And you like what type of lasagna? Because we saw different types of lasagna.
All types, but you can't go wrong with meat. I need to have my meat.
Okay.
Yeah.
So meat meaning like we do our meatballs, like you're talking about like with the meat and the sausage. You're talking about hamburg and different meats, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you can season it with different stuff. I got some of these because I don't know why.
Because you're a fun guy.
Oh, because I'm a fun guy. I love mushrooms, and they're a good condiment, and they're a superfood. So fresh mushrooms, fresh basil, fresh onions, everything's fresh,
Yep.
and
Yep.
oil.
Oil, not just any oil, green oil.
Yeah, green oil. So green oil is the better. You don't cook with that yellow stuff. That's different. You cook with a good olive oil to give you a nice flavor. So we're gonna cut all this stuff up, put it in packages and some of these, so you can see what we're doing. It's a very fast dish. We got a measuring thing. You might use it. I don't know. But we're gonna spice it up a little bit too, and we're gonna show you about cutting and how this all goes together. So again, basic ingredients: basil, parsley, oil, meat, a couple of cans of tomato sauce, so crushed tomatoes, onions. You can use Prince if you want, or you can make the pasta. But I mean, any one of those will do, and they'll cook really quick, and it'll assemble fast. So let's chop all this stuff up, get it in one spot for you, and then we'll go over the ingredients, how we add them, and how we layer them,
Absolutely.
and how to increase the taste. So,
all right,
you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Roll up your sleeves, ladies and gentlemen, and get dirty.
There you go. Awesome. Kayla did all the work today.
I did.
So we got the, what do we have over here, Kayla? So
Right.
once again, tell them this is on it.
All right, so I did the prep. I did all the slicing for the basil, parsley, garlic, onions, and mushrooms.
Yeah.
And I grinded the salt and the pepper.
We put all the cheese, so we got the
and the meats.
yeah we got this is matzo, right?
Yeah.
Matzo. So we want a little bit more of a stringy cheese that you pull apart when you have this lasagna, and that's when you start adding the technique to it. You start adding your own flavor. That's where I like to pull whenever I eat like a good cheese. But in here we have like an Assaggio, Romano, and Parmesan. So it's a mixture of those, a very pungent scent. And then again, we add the ricotta to do as well. And what I like to do with my ricotta is I like to add actually the basil into the ricotta when it's whipped. And we're not going to do it by hand today. We have a friend in the house. He's over here. He's called a ninja. Yeah. And he likes to come out and chop stuff up.
Did all the work.
Yeah, he gets silly like that. He loves to chop it up. So we had to do a lot of chopping today. We're going to take a little break, show you how to do it on a machine. But we're going to mix that basil with the ricotta so when it all cooks down. I don't want the basil, I don't want all the flavor gone to basil. If you put it in, you cook it with it, the basil falls apart and the meat and everything, it's not there anymore. And when you're cooking the garlic, like we're going to saute some onions first. We put in, what is this stuff here?
Red pepper.
Ooh, so you like it a little hot then?
Yeah, a little hot.
Yeah, you get a little bit of hot. So every once in a while you put a little lasagna, you get a little crushed hot. So I'll do the crushed hots. I'll do some onions. We'll get them that green oil in there. And the mushrooms, we'll reduce that stuff down. And the garlic will go in last. We'll put that to the side. And then we'll start cooking the meats. And then we'll add them back in together. So let's get after it. Again, you're doing it all today. I'm just here. Okay? All right, let's go. All right, so it looks like Kayla's almost done back there. She's doing all the stuff today, so she's putting it together. And she's been seasoning the meat and the sausage all together. I think she's done.
Yeah, got the meat done. So
Yeah.
I'm going to put the meat in this big bowl right here.
Okay, let's do it. Let's get it going.
Let's get it going.
So what we're doing, we're going to actually test a little bit of that meat too and see what the flavor is on it. We have some extra garlic and we have some extra salt and pepper laying aside. And I'm always going to save the basil for the last piece. I'm actually going to layer that in, not even cooked, and have it actually cook in when we do the bake. So you'll get parsley, you'll get basil, you'll get salt, pepper, garlic, and mushrooms. Again, mushrooms are really cool too to put in there. We'll slice up some other mushrooms to put in there as well. So we cook some in the meat to give it a mushroom flavor, and then we'll chop some up and we'll put it in before we do the bake, when we actually put it the last piece in the actual oven. So bring that over, Kayla. Let's go. Yeah, is that heavy? You want? I better do it. Okay, I'm gonna move in. I'm gonna move in. So the sous chef called me out. So we're gonna put that meat in there. Then you can see it's nice and golden, and the onions are translucent. And it has the mushroom in there. Get all that flavor going. And then what a good chef doesn't do as time, they want to just take a little piece of that. I mean, and just make sure it's good. You know. A little more.
Pepper.
Yeah, a little more pepper. It's almost like a steak and cheese, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like has that flavor to it.
Really
And I'll put a
juicy.
little bit of extra garlic in there, and that's gonna bake into it. So when we do the bake level, the next set, that's gonna bake that garlic in there, and that's when we do the layers, we're gonna actually add the basil at the time when we're doing the layers. So this is ready to go. So we get our lasagna sheets, okay? When you put the lasagna sheets in, don't put them in the water like that.
No, because then they
Right.
get stick.
They'll all stick together and it'll be a mess, right? So what you do is you put one in, and then you just make like an X. So you're just putting in sheet by sheet, and I'm gonna have you do that. Let my sous chef jump in there and have those done, and that's gonna put in all the pieces, and we're gonna boil that pasta till almost al dente. We're gonna pull it out, and then we're gonna start doing the layers and put them in the pan for the last step for the bake. We'll add the cheeses then. We'll add the mozzarella, like I said, Romano, Assaggio. Yeah, add on all the cheese. You want all the cheese. You want a really good flavor to it. And we have the ricotta ready to go. And we have this thing called a machine. This machine is going to whip it because we've been doing a lot today. We've been cutting and shopping and getting stuff. So we're going to skip a little step here, and we're going to go ahead and put in this machine here. And I'm going to put a little basil in there as well. And we're going to make that nice fluffy ricotta, because when you're going to spread it on, you can't take it out of the jar and spread that. It's still kind of sticky. You want to go ahead and stick it in this thing, this machine I got. And you want to have that. You want to have that specific knife to do it too, so you can get in there and get all that ricotta. So you want to have that bladed knife, that rubber knife in there that gets in. Yeah, it really gets in. You don't want to waste nothing. We don't waste no ricotta. Forget about it. You can't waste ricotta. Okay, so the ricotta's ready to go. And like I said, I like to take a little basil and put the basil in the ricotta as well. So I want every layer to have like that taste, that gooey, meaty pasta taste to it. So I'll add a little basil in there too, and that'll mix in with the ricotta. And maybe Kelly, you can use this machine here. I'm gonna put it in. There's a safety on it, so you can't do anything with it. But this locks down, so it doesn't come out. It's one thing I found with this particular blender. It can not only chop and dice, but it can actually make soups. It gets that fast. It's really fast. So I'm just gonna power this sucker up, and then dough, blend, or crush. You're gonna just pulverize. So hit it up.
All right. So which one? Dough.
The machine whipping instead of us. Can we go faster? I like speed. Can we go faster? There you go. So that's nice. I know you can't hear anything. It's a machine. I can see the levels going through the roof. I can't hear you. So that whips up our ricotta without us, using the whipper there, and really takes a little bit of time out of what we're doing today. So we have the ricotta, we have the regular cheeses, a little bit of salt, pepper, and garlic. If you have to flavor it more, we're gonna cut a few more of these mushrooms to put in it, as well in the layers, and we have a little extra basil too. So we have all our ingredients. We're waiting for our pasta to cook. Once that's done, we're ready to assemble. Yeah. Let's talk about layers and what we did here when we put this lasagna together. We had the first layer, and what was that? We did mostly.
All right. So the first layer we did the sauce, right? Tomato sauce.
Right.
And then we did the pasta.
Yep.
And then we put the meat.
Yep.
And then we
put
put a little bit of onions and a little bit of what else?
a little bit of onion, a little bit of mushroom. Oh, you put a little bit of basil.
I'm sorry.
Mushroom.
Mushroom. Okay.
No, she put a little. She knows what she did. She wasn't eating mushrooms. Well, the funny ones. She was doing the mushrooms and the basil. So putting leaves of basil in there uncooked with the actual meat, because you don't want to cook the basil with the meat. You lose all that basil comes out of it. You want to bake it.
Yeah.
So bacon is going to pour out throughout the whole thing. And then we're just at our last steps now. We're just going to add a little bit more sauce. I saved a little bit for the top piece.
Yeah.
But it really is, this pan's almost full. Yeah. We have a last sheet to put on. And we're going to do that now. But that's basically it for the lasagna. Your oven, like what should your oven be set at? We were talking about before when you pre-do your oven. Like 375,
yeah.
You know? And then how long about to cook after you bake the lasagna? What are we looking at as far as time on that?
Probably about like 50 minutes.
About 50 minutes or so. So it depends on the how thick it is, what you made it out of. And then we're going to use fresh matzah on the top of this as well. And we're going to use some all cheese on the top. And that's going to give it like, you know, that crackly, like hard top.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for.
The golden top.
Yeah, the golden top, you know. So that's what we're going to look for in the end, that last piece. And it's going on there really nicely. We're down to our last piece of pasta. That's the only piece that, like, we actually had only like one piece actually fall apart. All the other pieces were fine. We only had one piece fall apart, and that's because you laid them down in X's, right? So it didn't all stick together. You don't want to stick the whole thing in there like that. It's no good. So on the last one, we're gonna do a little bit of sauce. We're gonna use the stuff that we have left. We've used all of our cheese, all of our ricotta. We're gonna spread that out on top as our last piece. We actually have just enough. I don't know how he does it. So we're going to put that in there. We're going to put it in the oven. We're going to let it bake down. It's actually dripping over here. Yeah. We are right there. We're right there. Like ingredient wise, yeah. I literally have it all over the place. It's going to be a mess. I know. It's going to be horrible. So this, and then we'll take some of that matzah. Let's go with some of that matzah. We'll take this, chop that open. And then why don't we grab a bag of some more of that cheese too? This cheese out of the refrigerator. We'll add a little bit of that on the top too. So we're gonna add some fresh masa because masa and tomato go together. Oh. Yeah, they belong together.
Does Parmesan work?
Yeah, do a little bit of Parmesan. Throw a little Parmesan.
Yeah, so.
A little Parmesan. It's no big deal. So just a little bit of it.
First thing I saw.
And like for this little piece, like it's like $10. Like isn't it crazy? Like today, like money wise, like the matzah is $10, and it's just to add a flavor to the top. Well, there you go. You just gotta sprinkle that. Maybe we'll add a little salt and pepper. Give it a little bit of look. See.
I love my cheese. In case you don't know, I love my cheese.
Cheese.
Cheese Louise.
All right, guys, that's it. Let's drop it in the oven and see what happens. 50 minutes. We'll be back at it.
Ready? And action.
She's got my job down. Now she's doing the action. She's gonna run the cameras next. It's all happening.
Yeah, when you're in biz, you know.
Yeah, there you go. So it's been 3.5 hours. You've been playing around with lasagna.
In case anybody's been counting, it's been 3 hours.
Yeah. So we're gonna take it up now. We're gonna do the big reveal. See what we got. But that little, and you do know that we have to wait. You can't eat the lasagna right away. You do know that, right?
Yeah, because that's gonna be slippery
and nothing. Yeah, you have to wait till it comes all together and everything.
Yeah.
And then what we did in the last 5 minutes is we put it under a broil. So what that broil does, turn the top nice and brown on that lasagna. Get all that cheese going and, you know, that crunchy top. Yeah. Let's pull it out and see how it looks.
Well, let's see.
The reveal. Let's see if we did it any good.
Good roll. Wow.
Oh
my goodness.
Oh.
Look at that.
I think we did it perfect.
You did it good. You did good.
Yeah, I mean, and then when you hear it, when you know you did it good, watch this.
Hear that?
Hear that? That's on. That's a little crunchy on the top. So that top layer is gonna be nice and crunchy. It's been sitting around absorbing all the meats and juices. I can see the grease there from the hamburger and the sausage.
You can see it bubbling.
Oh yeah. I mean, I wish you guys could smell this. I wish you could just like
scratch and sniff.
Scratch and sniff this. Yeah, because I can literally scratch with my hands. but it just smells so good. And that's the hardest part about lasagna at the end of the day when you finally made it, spend all that time, is you gotta wait an hour till that thing cools down. So yeah, that's the hard part. So we're gonna get after it. What we're gonna segment onto next time we're on Scraping the Plate is gonna be seafood, right, for the summer?
Yeah, you gotta think summer, guys. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe cold outside, who
Yeah.
knows, but you gotta think summer, think more.
And we got